Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with the 5 greatest Liszt recordings. This was a tough one because, first of all, there's a lot of great Liszt, and second of all, because there's a lot of Liszt. I mean, lots and lots and lots of Liszt. And what's more, he's a composer who I think is just coming into his own in terms of the magnitude and importance of what he created, largely because of Leslie Howard's amazing complete Liszt edition, none of which appears in this particular list, by the way, but we have to acknowledge it because he's done more than anybody to make us aware of the vast range of Liszt's output and the seriousness with which we should take it, I think. You know, when somebody undertakes a complete edition and does it as successfully as Howard did, then we have to question some of our second guessing about the composer, I think. I think that's only natural. And I think in this case, it's particularly rewarding because there's lots and lots of great music that no one pays any attention to. And so I want to commend that edition. I think I have it as one of the most important recording projects ever or something like that. Ever, pardon me. One of those actual videos. But for the 5 greatest Liszt recordings, I don't think it says anything against Howard that he may not have been the greatest pianist to do all the individual works, especially the more popular ones. But he certainly did nothing badly. So I just want to say that up front because that huge thing is out there, looming like a monolith, like the monolith in 2001 Space Odyssey. This giant enigmatic thing. And actually, I don't even know if it's all still in print, but it was an amazing achievement. And it certainly got me to thinking about Liszt. And I hope it did the same for some of you as well. In the meantime, the 5 greatest Liszt recordings are, number 1, Hungarian Rhapsodies, all of them. Michele Campanella on Philips/Decca. He's a great Liszt pianist. He always was. And there are, we've talked about this before, there aren't that many versions of the complete Hungarian Rhapsodies. There's a small handful. Most of them are very good. But I think Campanella's is special, both for the beauty of tone that he brings to the whole thing, the beautiful sonority he gets and the recording that he got, and also just the brilliance of his interpretations. I mean, they combine passion with virtuosity and just a great feeling for the music's structure and sensibility. It's really an amazing set, and one that I've been promoting for a long time, and I know that some of you listened to when we last discussed it. So I think it just is only fair that I include it on the list of the 5 greatest Liszt recordings ever. Anyway, it's not ever, but just recordings. Next, the Sonata in B minor, of course, one of the icons of 19th century pianism and one of the great virtuoso challenges, not just from the point of view of technique, but also from the point of view of smarts, of being able to wield the entire thing, to bind it together in a 30-minute continuous structure that makes sense and that has no dead spots and that will make you say, wow, as it comes to its quiet ending. Martha Argerich on Deutsche Grammophon, she just smokes through the thing. I mean, it's so exciting. It's so incredibly exciting. It's not my reference recording. It's not even my favorite recording. But I certainly think it's an incredibly great recording. And that's the point. In a lot of these cases, as I've mentioned before, it's not necessarily my personal preference that matters. It's what I can take a step back and say, wow, this is an amazing achievement. And I am just thrilled that since she doesn't play solo anymore, make solo records, that she was around to do this. A couple other works, too, that just are absolutely, absolutely outstanding. And her Liszt Sonata in B minor is definitely one of those. Next, Totentanz. I love Totentanz. It's the devilish Liszt, the demonic Liszt, the Liszt that everybody says is so trashy and tacky and vulgar, and I love every single tasteless second of it. I really do. It's so much fun. And I don't understand why people can't just relax and you know, just get the sticks out of their asses and enjoy pieces which have so much to offer in terms of pure enjoyment and diablerie and all of those wonderful qualities. And it's Alfred Brendel with Bernard Haitink. I mean, who I just can't get over how the two of them. I mean, Haitink is one of the most dour conductors who ever lifted up a baton. Dour, great conductors, because he was a great conductor, but he was not one with a sense of humor. And Brendel, who had the sense of humor, you see. Brendel understood that side of Liszt, and he understood the value in that side of Liszt. I know sometimes people dump on me because I don't think Brendel is the greatest thing since sliced bread in the standard German repertoire, but his Liszt was tremendous. And he understood aspects of the composer's character that I think many other pianists have never quite come to grips with. And his Totentanz is a case in point. It's brilliant, it's exciting, but it's fun. It's fun and funny. I mean, it has that wit, that naughty boy quality to it that I think you really have to have in that music. So that's amazing. Absolutely incredible. And then we have to talk about the Transcendental Etudes. Now, the Transcendental Etudes are just, the most incredible challenge, one after the other. And again, some people sort of dump on them because of the emphasis on virtuosity, but that's not all that they are. There's much more than that in them. And they're fun and exciting as all hell. And Claudio Arrau is the one who brings them home for me because Arrau was such a serious pianist. And because, like Brendel, he took the music seriously and treated it with the love and care. And if you play it like great music, you realize it is great music. If you play it like, virtuoso trash, well, it can come across as virtuoso trash. But that isn't Liszt's fault, because the quality is there, the intent is there. And when you realize that Liszt, made like 100 versions of these pieces, there was the earlier, even more difficult version of it, then he revised it. He was constantly reworking, constantly dissatisfied, constantly trying to put things in their best possible form. I mean, he deserves credit for all of that, for the thoughtful musician that he was, and the way that he was able to marry that incredible thoughtfulness with just insane virtuosity. It's absolutely marvelous. And last but not least, an orchestral piece. We've got to do some orchestral pieces. A Faust symphony. The Boston Symphony with Leonard Bernstein on Deutsche Grammophon. Now, Bernstein is one of the very few conductors who did the Faust Symphony more than once. I mean, good heavens, he recorded it twice. Both performances are very good, but the Boston one is special. It's the Boston recording that I think does what all of these other performances I'm talking about do. Shows us the greatness of the music, because he takes his time. He doesn't ever show that he's ashamed or embarrassed of what Liszt is doing. Even the central movement, Gretchen, which can be just syrupy and annoying beyond all belief, here takes on a sort of serene beauty, seraphic, maybe that's the word. It's really very, very special. It's an amazing performance that shows the piece to be as big and grand and powerful as any 19th century orchestral piece. Even the final chorus isn't like, silly sounding. It often comes off that way. It can, but not here. Not here. It has the whole performance just unfolds with this sort of magisterial, inexorable inevitability that befits a work on this subject, a subject of this importance. And it's an absolutely stunning achievement. And I think that with that, we have 5 rather fabulous Liszt recordings, the greatest Liszt recordings. And I'm very interested to see your selections for the 5 greatest Liszt recordings. I know it's going to be a marvelous discography for people who are just getting into the composer and who want to know just how to put together a slamming collection of really, really memorable performances. So thank you for participating. Keep on listening, friends, and thanks for joining me.